Hello YouTube, welcome to our first tutorial with how to graph on the coordinate plane. So suppose we're given the equation y equals 2x minus 4. So how do we graph this? So first in this tutorial I'm going to teach you a more basic method that you guys can wrap your heads around before I teach you guys a more advanced way to do graph. So first you guys should create a little chart with x and y values like this as shown. And for these values, I'm going to put some values in for x, like -2, -1, 0, 1. So you guys can pick any numbers you want, but these numbers are usually more well received because we are representing the negative numbers, the positive numbers, as well as 0 in this. So let's start. Since we have y equals 2x minus 4, we can say y equals 2. And since we have the value of x for the first one is -2, 2 times -2 minus 4, which is equal to -4 minus 4, which is equal to -8. So for this, we can say the y value of this is -8. Again, over here, we have -1 for y. It's 2 times -1 minus 4, which is otherwise equal to -2 minus 4, which is equal to -6. The -6 over here for y. And again over here, we're going to have 0, so we're going to have y equals 2 times 0 minus 4, which is 0 minus 4, which is -4. -4 here. And then we have y equals 2 times 1 minus 4, which is 2 minus 4, which is -2. And finally, we have y equals 2 times 2 minus 4, which is equal to 0. Because 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. So just put these values in over here. Now let's get to graphing these. So since we have the x values on the horizontal axis, the y values on the vertical axis, we're going to graph accordingly. So since we have -2 for x, -2 is right over here, and we have -8 for y, which is over here. -2 comma -8 is the point where these two pieces intersect. When we have x equals -1, y equals -6, they intersect at the point -1 comma -6. Similarly, when we have x equals 0 and y equals -4, they intersect at the point 0, -4. And this just goes on and on just like that. So we have -1 and -2. So we have 1, -2 over here, and 2 comma 0. So as you guys can see, we have these points graphed out on the coordinate plane. Now, if we just draw a line through them, this symbolizes all the answers that we could have for this equation. Although my line isn't really straight, you guys should probably use a ruler to graph yours, but I don't really have a ruler with me right now, so I'm just going to graph like this. So make sure to draw arrows at the end of your line, because this just symbolizes that this line could go on forever, because you could have x equal 1,000, or x equal 3, or x equal -3. It could just keep going on, and there's going to be corresponding y values for those x values. Right guys, so this is the equation. This is the graph of the equation y equals 2x minus 4. Okay. Let's get on to another equation. So suppose we were to graph y equals 3x plus 1. So just like before, let's choose -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, just because they have negative values, positive values, and 0 all represented. And let's do this again. So when we have -2, y equals 3 times -2 plus 1. And this is equal to 3 times -2 is -6 plus 1 is that's equal to -5. -5 over here. Again, we have y equals 3 times negative 1 plus 1, which is equal to negative 3 plus 1, which is equal to negative 2. Now we have y is equal to 3 times 0 plus 1, which is equal to 0 plus 1, which is equal to 1. Now we have y equals 3 times 1 plus 1, which is equal to 3 plus 1, which is equal to 4. And finally, we have y equals 3 times 2 plus 1, which is 6 plus 1, which is equal to 7. Fill in all of our values over here, and these are our points. Now, just like last time, in our last example, we're going to graph these points again. So when x is equal to negative 2 and y is equal to negative 5, they intersect at this point over here. When x is equal to negative 1 and y is equal to negative 2, they meet at this point. When negative 1 comes negative 2. When x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1, they meet at this point. When x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 4, they meet at this point. And finally, when x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 7, they meet at this point over here. So now, just like last time, we're going to draw our line through these points, preferably with a ruler, and we get a line like this. Just keep in mind, my line's really messy just because I don't have a ruler with me. If I did, it would probably get a lot straighter. So, this is our line for the equation y equals 3x plus 1. And all values on this line would be a solution for this equation. So now, let's try, how about you guys try one equation? So suppose we got the equation, how about y equals 1/2 x plus 2. So just because it's a fraction over here doesn't mean anything. We're just going to do it the same way as before. So we'll just fill in our values. Negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. Okay guys, so you can pause this video and just try to work this out by yourselves and unpause it when you guys are finished. Okay, so hopefully you guys have now at least tried the problem out on your own. And let's work through it together. So for the first one, we have y equals 1/2 of x is equal to negative 2 plus 2. So 1/2 of negative 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus negative 1 is equal to negative 2. So negative 1 plus 2 is 1. Put a 1 over here. Now we have 1. Y equals 1/2 negative 1 plus 2. So 1/2 of negative 1 is negative 1/2. And just for the sake of example, since I like working with decimals more than fractions, I'll just convert it to a fraction. So negative 1/2 plus 2 equals negative 1/2 plus 2 is equal to 1.5. Okay, so now we have y equals 1/2 times 0 plus 2. That's 0 plus 2, which is equal to 2. 5 over here, 2 over here. Now we have y equals 1/2 times 1 plus 2 equals 0.5 plus 2, which is in turn equal to 0.5. Finally, we have y equals 1/2 2 plus 2, which is equal to half of 2 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So now we're just going to fill in the remaining values, 2.5 and 3. And we're just going to graph. This is going to be just like any other problem we've had so far. Just because we have 0.5 doesn't really mean anything. We're just going to graph between the lines. So we have x is equal to negative 2, y is equal to 1 at this point over here. Let's see where they intersect. X is equal to -1, y is equal to 1.5. So if we have 0 over here, wait, no, if we have 1 over here, and we have 2 over here, that means 1.5 will be right between the two of them. Means right here. Between 1 and 2, we have 1.5. Now we have 0, comma 2. And then between 2 and 3, we have 2.5. And finally, we have 2, comma 3. So now, just like all the other examples, just draw a little line through it. And we're done. This basically represents that even if we add more values, this would just keep going on, just like that. Okay, nice job, guys. Hope to see you in the next tutorial where I teach you guys about how to graph these linear equations in an easier manner. Okay, see you guys.